on here. Today I'm going to do a brief review of the LG G4 Stylus. First things first, the display. It's a 1280 by 720 IPS HD. It's 60 Hz and it's 5.7 inch across. We've got the ARM version 7 processor and it's 4 cores running at 1.2 GHz. And the GPU is a Adreno 306. We have 1 GB of RAM, 8 gig storage, but this is upgradable to 128 gig with the SD card. At the back, we have the 8 megapixel camera, which records at full 1080p video, and obviously the images are 8 megapixels. We have the flash there, and that laser autofocus there, and the power and volume unlock buttons just there. That's the 1-watt speaker. It sounds good. We'll get back to that in just a second. And at the bottom we have the microphone and the micro USB. At the top we have the headphone jack, another microphone, and as the name suggests, the Stylus. The front, we have the 5 megapixel camera, the speaker. We have some proximity sensors up top there, and then obviously the LG branding. Now there's several different models of this LG phone. The model I have is the H-635, which is the 8 megapixel camera at the back and the 5 megapixel at the front. Very confusing. Apparently this isn't this phone here. This isn't the UK model. It's the European one, which the class is an EMEA. So it's like America, Africa, stuff like that. All the other ones of this are 30 megapixel at the front, at the back, and 5 at the front, and they've got a bit better processor, I believe, and a bit more RAM. We have the, as mentioned, the Stylus. We've also got that knock code, that one screen to unlock the screen. We have the glance view. So you just pull it top of the screen, you get your time, date, signal, and any notifications. The battery is a 3000 milliamp, which is quite good. And then you've got usual on LG, like the quick memo plus, which is, I would say, similar to Samsung's S Note. Featured wise, it's not a bad phone. I've had no issues with lag or anything like that, or anything slowing down. But to be fair, I've not got a lot of stuff on here. Majority of the stuff was pre-installed. I've just installed a few apps, nothing really intensive. What I would say is, just briefly, I will get the bad points out of the way first. Pretty much the screen, with it being a 5.7 inch display, you've got quite a lot of real estate to play with. So with it only being 720p, it's a bit of a disappointment. You'd think it would be 1080. So that's one grievance. The 8 megapixel camera at the back, it's alright. The saturation could be better. outside in the daylight, it's not too bad. But obviously in indoors, it's a bit washed out. It just doesn't really do it for me. I mean, it does have HDR and stuff like that, but it's just not that good, to be honest. I mean, yeah. Not to mention the lack of features like settings and stuff. I mean, you can't really mess around with ISO, things like that. There's no option to reduce brightness, increase it, stuff like that. You know, the adaptive brightness, they don't have that on here, so you're having to keep toggling it yourself, which can be a pain, especially when you have to keep, you know, with the sun shining and it's not shining, it's a bit of a pain. But I've not had that much an issue with looking at it outside or glare or anything like that. The Stylus, you'd think with a name, G4 Stylus, they would, you know, emphasize on that. They would, you know, think they'd give you like some special features, but there's not. Other than that quick memo, you know, it's just essentially just something to tap the screen with. As mentioned, it's very it's similar to the S Note with the Galaxies, but obviously with the Galaxies, you know, the Stylus, there's a hell of a lot more things to do with it. But it's not a good point, it's not really a bad point, it's just, you know, you'd think with the detail they put in, you know, to mould it into there, and well, you'd think they'd add some sort of feature to it. But anyway, I'm not going to dwindle on that too much. There's a few good points, you know, that the quality of the build's nice. I do like it. I mean, the back just looks really, really nice. Just like that a second. Really, really nice. I've got no qualms with that whatsoever. The screen is nice, crisp, pleasant to look at. As mentioned, the real estate's quite good. Laser autofocus, brilliant, no issues with that. The speaker, excellent, we'll get to that in just a second. This actually shipped when I'd got out of the box, but this actually had marshmallow on it. But I believe that some of them are Android, either version 5 or 5.1. But obviously it's upgradable to marshmallow if and when available. Like I said, the menu structure, we have two types. We can have the standard list view, which we're all accustomed to, or you can have the tab view. Now, in the list view, there's certain options that are hidden. When you go to tab view, like if you go to display, the brightness, night brightness, when you have that to list view and then go to display, it's not there. So, and until you go there. So obviously you have to go deep into the menu. Not a real issue, just something I thought I'd mention. Dual window feature, a lot of phones have them now. Again, it's reminiscent from Samsung, stuff like that. When this feature's on, me personally, it gets a bit of in the way, because when you go to the button combination, if you have it up there, I found that instead of like try to go push there or there, I keep tapping this dual button. So it's not an issue as such, but I don't have it activated. Like I said, it's not really an issue. The LTE, because this is a 4G phone, works fine, connects pretty much fast. There's no issues with that. Just focus that in. So it's just there. Yeah, so I've got no issues there. This is obviously NFC. We have pretty much everything you can think of. Bluetooth version 4.1. We have, like it says, the SD card slot, which is up to 128 gig, which is good because with the space used up for Android itself, you know, you're not left with much at all, as you can see. There we go. Yeah, and that's just a few apps that I've installed. You don't get much at all, so it's handy that you get that. Overall, I've not really had that much issues with it, other than the grievances that I mentioned: lack of adaptive brightness. The camera, in my opinion, could be better. I mean, I know LG prides themselves on their cameras, but I don't know if this is an oversight or what. But I'll put some pictures up once I've edited the video so you can see. It might say G4 at the beginning of the name, but it's nowhere near G4. As you can see, I'll just put up the. So we got so as you can see, you know, it's not that bad, but for like a mid-range phone, I can't complain. With the Samsung Galaxy Core Prime 2, so the Galaxy Core Prime, that again, it seems feature wise it's similar to the Galaxy Core Prime, but probably say a bit better, but that's just my opinion. If you notice, you tap the screen, it unlocks it. Tap it anywhere and it will lock it again. And obviously, like I said, you have that glance view, which is good. Doesn't use much power at all. Doesn't really turn the screen on, so that's quite good. Battery life, I'm actually quite surprised. When I first got this, I charged it up full, and most phones that I've had, as soon as you unplug it, the battery goes straight to 99%. Well, this stayed on 100% for a good few hours, and I was still playing with it. And when I say a good few hours, maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then it dropped down. Although I did notice that, I don't know if the battery indicator got stuck or it froze, but it went straight from 99 to 95% after I restarted the phone, so it could just been a bit froze. It just froze or whatever, but still, I can't complain about battery life. Weight is only 163 kilograms. It feels really nice in the hand. You can operate it one-handed if need be, but I'd say two's better. GPS stuff like that. I will mention that the camera, there is no option on the camera interface for geotagging. Now I thought that it wasn't included, but I actually found out that you had to actually go to settings and location, but I'll pop that up on screen so you can see. As mentioned before, there's different renditions of this phone. You have the H-631, you have the MS-631, you have the H-635, which this is, which is the EMEA phone, which is European, America, Africa, stuff like that. You have the H-540, which is UAE. You have the H-630D, which is the Indian version, and the H-542, which is the Mexico version. It was all quite confusing to me because this phone doesn't appear, or this model of the phone doesn't appear on LG's UK website. So I got in touch with them and I found out why. What I will mention is the customization options that you get, especially with this LG World. Just load up this Wi-Fi. I was quite impressed with this. Different themes and stuff like that, similar to Sony's app that they get. I can't remember what the name was called, but similar. I mean, you know, you have different customization options, you have themes. When that loads, there we go. You know, just out of randomness. Or we have, go into settings, and I believe it's home screen, and then obviously the theme. You can go ahead and download some more, which it's a nice touch. Can't complain. You can have there's free ones there, buy ones. You have wallpapers there and stuff like that. But pretty much to sum up, it's a nice phone. It has its good points, has its bad points. I think, to me personally, the good outweighs the bad, but there's still some bad points there. Adaptive brightness, to me, it comes pretty much down on most phones. But it is what it is. I mean, for the price, 200 and whatever it is, or might be cheaper elsewhere, I don't know. But it's still a good featured phone. The glass is Corning Gorilla 3, and it's the zero gap in-cell hybrid touch. So there's basically no gap or something, you know. So it's pretty much the whole of the phone. So Wi-Fi works good. It connects pretty much fast. Watching videos on here is a breeze. If I just go ahead and load a video up. So as you can see, video looks nice and clear. Music. This comes with LG's own music player. Just put a bit of music on there. Quite good. But yeah, all round, it's a nice phone. I would recommend it, but as mentioned, don't be fooled with the LG G4 name. It's just a G4 in name and nothing else. So that's to conclude. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and hopefully I'll be up getting some more stuff soon. I'll see you in the next one then. Cheers.